Hello and welcome back to the War in the East, and it has been far too long since I actually made a feature-length video of this game, and I can admit it's been since December since I last played this particular save. I've been bouncing around. I played a couple multiplayer games, not to completion. Barely even got going. Very unsatisfying. I have found out about myself that I cannot keep up with the pace of the multiplayer community of War in the East. They are so fast, and I am so slow. I just don't play every day anymore, and it's stressful. Like just having the doom of Damocles over my head, thinking about the fact that I haven't turned the turn in yet, bugs me. But last time, I think what was happening was essentially this sector had gone shockingly quiet after I made a little incursion. But what I was hoping to do originally was to bring, to force the Germans to bring up a couple of panzer divisions into the woods. And I hope that's what happened. I don't really know for sure. I think we're on the ground turn here. So, yeah, we are. So I can't really determine for sure what's in here. I don't really remember, but I'm hoping that's what had happened, and that's why I was able to fall back and get back to my original line, basically. But over the winter offensive, what I would like to be able to do is to at least... Oh, well, there's a 6th Panzer is right there. I don't know where 8th Panzer is. Should be around here somewhere. I would expect at least 2 Panzer divisions in here. Regardless, what I would like to be able to do is just to push the line back up to this river line and try to get back some of these airfields, especially Luga. I don't want to have the enemy having airfields that close to me necessarily. Although I doubt they have planes right there right now. The dream scenario would to be also to retake this side of the river line. Although, if I could get all the way up to here and kind of hold this line here, the one I'm highlighting, that would be very cool. And then kind of have the enemy in a pocket. But I don't know if I'm going to have enough troops to do that, because they have really reinforced this area of the line, and it's hard to push that very far, very fast. So maybe by the end of 42 I can get that, but that would be the ideal. Obviously, in all of that, I'm hoping that I can hold on and not have any enemy breakthroughs. If we go a little further south to this Veliki Luki sector here, I could see that the enemy has quite a lot of infantry in this sector and has pretty much continually been kind of reorganizing himself along our line. Initially, I built a nice long front line here, but now it's starting to look a little weaker. I'm not sure, especially once the winter really hits and this stuff freezes over. I might need to reinforce this area. This is also maybe an area where I could threaten their supply line. I'm not sure. Further south, in the Smolensk area, well, I guess Vyazma at this point, but in the Smolensk sector, things had really quieted down for quite a while. I don't think there's really been hardly any attacks at all on this front. They did hit us here on the front lines a couple of times, it looks like. But honestly, I don't think it did a whole hell of a lot. So, I mean, they pushed us off the line, we pushed them back, basically. I mean, that's all that happened. But that's really been the only spot of real weakness for us. And they have been prodding us, certainly. But I feel like we could bring in maybe another couple divisions into this sector. Make myself feel a little bit better. Although we do have a couple reserve divisions, and maybe it's not that bad. I've been trying to just like rotate a division or two every turn. But you could see that there are some weak ones here. Like this guy's pretty weak this turn. I'm going to need to rotate him in. So let's, this guy's only on 25%. Yeah, this is probably what I was thinking of. All right, so 52nd Army also has this guy way down here. Can we reassign you to something closer? I guess 3rd Army? Give you both the 3rd Army? Was there a reason that 3rd Army didn't have those guys? Let's see, Central Front. Oh, Central Front is now over a little bit, but that could be handled with a different strategy further south, maybe. Okay, maybe I just need to figure out what all the fronts are at right now. Bryansk is pretty full as well. They do not need this division necessarily. We could put him to Stavka. And then we can move this guy to 29th Army, maybe? Yeah. So that will free up a little bit from the front. Where is the front? Oh, he's right there. In a rel. If I remember right, this whole sector was a bit iffy last few times. Oh yeah, this was very active. Okay, so this, I've been playing some games in this area, right? Where I was trying to like kind of threaten the Bryansk supply line to mess with their supplies for their offensive. But looks like that kind of backfired here because I routed a few of my divisions. Quite a few of my divisions? All of my divisions? Oh my god. What a disaster. Maybe this is why I stopped playing. I don't think so. I've had worse. But yeah, there's not a lot of reserves in this area either, it looks like. They're all pretty green. Pretty raw. I'm going to need another army or front here, perhaps. Southwestern front is kind of low on guys, so we could give this guy over to the Southwestern front, 43rd Army. That might work. He is 17. That's going to put Southwestern front over just slightly. Okay, maybe I can't do that. And realistically, I need the Western front to take more stuff. These guys are over as well. I feel like I should have more fronts. I always feel that way. I don't really know. Maybe I deleted a front or something stupid like that when I first started playing this game. Because I've pretty much kept the saves since I really started first playing it. Slitherine Front. Where are you? Oh, it's just a rename of the reserve front. Okay. And he is full. Now, I don't really have any places where I could put another army. And that's really what I need. So maybe I just slap a reserve army down in this area here. Or even bring him down to Tula. Okay, so now the question is, where am I going to get a reserve army? 33rd Army is technically a reserve army. But I would like another reserve army. Oh, how about this guy? 31st Army. Okay. We're going to drive this guy down to Tula. Or maybe even further. Well, he could just make it to Tula, so we'll move him to Tula. And then we'll set this as the reserve arrival hex. Because then from Tula, he can go to either front as needed. Alright, so what do we want for his army? Oh my god, he's got a ton of stuff. What's going on here? Oh, his support level's 3. Okay, he's got way too much stuff. He does not need all this. I better go through and double check that. Make sure that don't have too much stuff in here. Yeah, he's got a lot of anti-tank guns, huh? I was thinking maybe giving him 1 to start. Definitely doesn't need that much AA. I guess send one of those back. Guess he can keep the machine guns. I mean, we can parcel those out as needed, but it's weird. Okay, let's find him an army. So we know we want to have some infantry off map. Can transfer. A lot of divisions are still forming here. But we've got a fair amount there. I would say if it's over 9,700, we'll take them. It's probably like maybe even too many. All right. Yeah, these guys are 85% TOE. Get those onto the map. We're just gonna keep it simple. Oh my god, this guy's 3 too. 3 and 0 units. Okay, I need to just look at the chart here. Yeah, we have some 3s. Alright, so Air HQ has a support level 3. That's weird. What does he have? Nothing. Okay. Well, we'll just lock it then. '24th Army. I'll lock you. He actually only has 1 artillery piece, so I mean, he might even be okay. He hasn't really been, although is this the heavy fighting sector? No. What we do want is the guy in the heavy fighting sector, the 52nd Army. Yeah, we want this guy to have plenty of stuff. So he's got 4 now. Can we also give him maybe just a couple more howitzers and a nice anti-tank unit? 30% TOE though. That's not a good one. We'll have something for him shortly. Maybe another sapper. Yeah, I've got way too much artillery out in the field. I think that's probably a bit of an issue. '56th Army. I don't know what they were doing, but all right, let's filter 3, and then we'll set their support levels all to -1. Just so we don't keep shoveling shit into the bad place. And then we will sort by support units attached and men. Let's see what does that do. So if I sort by men and then support units attached, no. Sort by men. So all the fronts should have plenty of stuff. These are all set to 0 actually. I don't really want those to be 0. So much fiddling to get things right again. This guy's 24 support. What is he doing? He has 2 light tank battalions assigned to him. Okay, this guy was supposed to go on an offensive, so maybe this makes sense. Yeah, he's very powerful. Does he have a good general? He's not the best. He's good morale, though, but bad initiative. Let's see if we can find someone slightly better. I mean, the morale stat is very good. There's not going to be too many. Vasilevsky's open, although it's a low command for him. I don't really want to do that. Guys got a bunch of 5s. Yeah, see, this is what I was thinking. Wouldn't have anyone that much better. Alright, I'll leave him in command. He hasn't done anything to piss me off yet, so. Guess he needs a lot of stuff. It's fine. Maybe I just give this guy... Oh, it's Rokossovsky. Must have had a plan when I put him in charge. It's so hard to remember what I was doing. 50th Army. Chibisov. He has kind of a hard job, huh? Wow. He's in a weird spot. Well, I think we can probably just count on having to pour a ton of troops into this sector here. So to me, that's what that's saying is that I'm going to need to think about maybe this airborne corps goes to Stavka for a bit. Right? Because they're just meat sacks on the front line. Maybe 43rd Army goes over to the Southwestern Front. Right? That's going to put Southwestern Front over its limit, I assume, by 3. So then what do? We take off its reservists and shift and rail this guy up to go help the Central Front. Maybe that's what we do. Because I'm thinking we might not need reserves in this sector anymore. Alright, that's what I'm going to plan to do. So we'll put him on a train. And we're going to rail him up to basically this railhead here. Trying to find where he has a lot of points left. $92 if he goes here. Let's rail him there. So now we're kind of getting people into the sector. Now to get that one last one, maybe I can pull one more unit off. And I'll rail him up to the north. Except he's not on a railhead. Why can he not rail? Is he too close? Oh, because this one goes along there. Okay, so he's going to have to march for a turn. Which is a pain in the ass. Alright, that's fine. We'll march him over there. And we'll throw down a fortified region to hold that. Just so the fort level doesn't decay too much. Okay, southwestern front's good now. Alright, in this sector we were doing a lot of fighting against the Romanians, but now there's some Germans showing up, so that's a little bit concerning. And these guys have been fighting their asses off for several weeks. Although, ooh, this guy is now ready for a fight, it looks like. So give him to the 18th Army. Give him to the 18th Army. Can I take them off their trains? Nope, they just arrived, okay. He can come off, though. He can even march to the front line. But he's a 0. I would not like to have him fighting if I don't have to. But I don't want this gap to be run through. So what I could do is move him here. I don't really know what's back up in this area. Otherwise I would say I could move that guy there. Either way, it's a 10 to get there. So I'll do the one that's off the front line. It'll let them advance into this little pocket here, which hopefully is what they do. And then when these guys are ready to fight, I can counterattack. Gotta get this guy back up to strength if I can. 51st Army. Got some weird stuff under him. I think 51st Army has to go back to Stavka, right? Because this this military district is over its quota. Oh, hey, there's a division here. We want to play him. I could rail him all the way up here. Might need him. He's got 75 combat prep too. He's ready for the front. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get him up there. All right, this place absolutely has to be a 4. We have to be able to dump some more supplies into this area. Even if we have to fly them in. It's looking like they're getting plenty of supply, actually. But maybe we should start building some rear depots. Just in case. You never know. I think maybe one here. It's not a bad spot for one. This thing is getting constricted. So what that's telling me is that's a good place for a depot, maybe. This tank division also is pretty fresh. If I have to shuffle that in there. Are any of these going to hold? Maybe. Might actually hold. Yeah, these hexes might hold. This one probably not, but and this one probably not either. We might need to pull this guy back. Oh yeah, he's been getting that shit beaten out of him. All right. Put him on reserve for a turn. I'm just got to give that up. Maybe we build a couple fortified zones in the open here, just in case. So I think that's the best spot for it, maybe. Just kind of looking across. Yeah, we need at least one ahead. So if we're going to fortify up this area, we're going to need at least one ahead of that. These fortified zones are kind of stupid because they're going to sap supplies that I need to fight. So that's the big problem there. That whole area is very dangerous. Do I give up a hex here? Maybe. There's a panzer division there, 14th Panzer. That's kind of scary. Especially because I just sent a couple divisions off. This guy's must have been fighting a lot. He's got 66 for his fatigue. Well, we might be in for a disaster here. I don't know. Oh, hey, rifle division. Take you. I'm just looking at the mini map, basically. I know my stupid face is blocking it. And I'm sure somebody will be commenting they don't like my face. So there always seems to be one of you guys out there don't like my face. And you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. I really don't think this sector's that bad right now. I'm a little bit more worried about this sector over here, especially because of the supply situation. Well, supply situation is actually not that bad. Could be worse. Not the best combat prep, but honestly, this might not push. So let's go with this. I'm probably missing some serious issues that are going to come back to bite us, but it seems like the main threat from the enemy is against Tula. I have shipped in a shitload of divisions. I have to organize them next turn, but at least they should hopefully the green and the purple fronts, Bryansk and Central Front, can hold out for a few turns while these guys get combat prepped. I have another reserve army coming into Tula. I should be able to blunt this attack. And then counterattacking, probably not. Maybe, but probably not. This seems like the absolute strongest point of the advance. And it has for quite some time. So I'm not sure why the AI thinks this is the best option. I mean, this is the best tank country, I guess, to come at Moscow from the south. But at the same time, I should be able to blunt it. But it's a lot of. This is a huge army. I mean, there's no way around it. It's going to be really hard. If worst comes to worst, I mean, we can still fall back quite a ways before we're really threatening Moscow itself. So we've got a lot of ground to give. We are going to lose the rivers in the winter, but we can still give ground. It's just a matter of trying to slow them down, really, and then find a reason for them to shift troops elsewhere. And I don't know yet where that's going to be. I think the northern front and the southern front might have to be those places, like the far flanks, and just try to pour some more units in there. Because right now, this southern sector, basically from Zaporizhia on down to Crimea, is very thinly held. I need to bring at least another 5, 6, maybe 10 divisions down here to stem the tide. Otherwise, I could be in for a world of hurt. Luckily, it's mostly Romanians right now, but if the Germans show up in force, they could probably cross the river without too much trouble. And I don't have a ton of troops, so we'll find out. I don't think I had any plans to replace anyone this turn. I just don't recall. The only guy I might replace would be this guy here, but he's had such a good start to the campaign that I would hate to do it to him, because even though he's terrible, he's one of our worst generals. I like holding on to him. Like, I like not playing it like a game and actually judging his performance. And based on performance, he deserves to keep his job. There's others who have performed worse than him that deserve to be fired. Hopefully 40th Army now can kind of turn around too. So next turn, my big goals are to reorganize the entire Central Front in order to kind of defend against this big attack, even if that means having some guys reporting to weird fronts. I think this needs to really be a big focus. So I'm going to be shifting a lot of my attention into this sector next turn. I think otherwise we're pretty much going to leave everything as is. And then I'm also going to go back through and hunt down any of the support equipment that is in weird places that it doesn't need to be. I did a little bit of that this turn. And I have some guys in mind that probably don't need very much support equipment right now. Like this 56 probably doesn't need any. So I might even put him to 0. Just stick him at 0 and let the AI do it. Just because he doesn't have troops, so he doesn't need support equipment. Otherwise, I'm not really seeing any glaring weaknesses. It's not a great sector in this sector, but as long as that Panzer division doesn't blow through and instantly take this supply depot, I think we could be okay. But the supply depot is very weak. That's definitely an issue. Because like if you look at the supply situation here, I think it's not great. It's not as bad as I thought, but it could be better. So that's the only thing that I'm kind of concerned with, is this particular depot here. All right, well, let's turn the turn, and we'll talk about what the Germans are going to do to us. What I'm expecting is big attack in the south. With that Panzer division trying to attack that depot, and then a huge attack towards Tula, possibly disrupting those units on the railheads. That would be worst case scenario for me if they can break the line and get attacks in on the railhead. I was looking at it, it's too deep in most sectors, or most parts of the line there, so I don't necessarily think that's possible. but it's not completely impossible if they really focus their attacks well and sequence everything perfectly. I don't know if the AI is going to be able to do that or not, but I think that's kind of the danger there. The other area where I think they're going to make attacks is on the Staraya Russa area. They have been making some light attacks in that sector, as well as the kind of the far left of the northern line, but yeah, like there. But I was thinking that the rains, the mud, are going to kind of delay that. Yeah, this is pretty much what I was expecting. So lots of focus on the flanks and then a huge attack in the middle. Now there could be another Panzer Corps attack somewhere in the Western Front sector too. They haven't shown that yet, but it could exist. A really desperate fight for Zaporizhzhia. Okay, this Kursk sector here is one of our strongest armies, so I'm not particularly worried about that. It'd suck if they beat it up, but at the same time, it has so much power that I don't think they can kill it. They've done this a few times before where they've knocked back a guy off the line, but they have to take 2 attacks usually. Okay, this Arel sector is our weakest sector. Yep, they're able to push this. You can see these fights, though, are actually pretty balanced in terms of losses. In some cases, like, the Germans are even losing more than us, which is shocking. And I didn't think a lot would happen in the Vyazma sector. They haven't really brought a panzer division back over there for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. All right, so definitely not a disastrous turn by any stretch of the imagination. They attacked pretty much where I thought they were going to attack, but less heavily than I thought they were going to attack. I thought they would hit it a little harder. So that means that they were probably pulling a couple divisions off the line to prepare for a larger attack in the future. But we will end this turn by taking a quick look at the losses, just for fun, basically. I'll probably recap that again next turn. But this turn, the Germans lost 18,000 men, 185 guns, and 71 armored fighting vehicles. We lost 38,000 and 431 guns, 183 armored fighting vehicles. That inches the Axis closer to 500,000 losses so far, and inches us closer to 2 million. In this turn, they lost a whole bunch of Panzer IIIJs, a bunch of Panzer IIIEs. So Panzer III obviously is the workhorse of the German army at this point in the war. So you would expect their highest losses to be in those vehicles. In terms of destroyed units, I don't think we added any. 20th Tank Division was disbanded. Okay, so that means that it went below. There's a trigger on right now where if you have a tank division below a certain readiness level, it gets converted to a tank brigade. So that's what happened there. And a militia rifle division was disbanded as well. Nothing destroyed for actual units. You can see no air bases were overrun this turn either. So next time we'll go into mid-November, November 16th, 1941. And this is really the heart of Operation Typhoon now, where the Axis is making its biggest thrust towards Moscow. But to defend against that, we have brought in the 31st Army, which is going to be composed of all these rifle divisions here, plus some artillery. They're just going to be there to stem the tide, as rifle divisions do. In the south, we really desperately need to bring in more divisions, and I think I have to commit to that this turn. We're going to bring in some divisions to fill out the 56th Army, which will probably be forced into the Zaporizhzhia line, because that seems to be the most dangerous sector. We definitely need to retake this, unfortunately. This guy got beat up. So we might have to thin out the line even. These guys, the readiness of this whole line is really bad. I've basically just been pouring like fresh troops into there constantly. But I mean, what else can I do realistically? I could have kept that guy on a train is what I could have done. Now I could train this guy over there. I don't know. Excess garrison in the Western European theater. So they gained a VP and an AP. Partisan attacks, and in 1941-42, this is the start of the winter turns, basically. So I think we'll be in for a very interesting winter. Obviously, we're doing a hell of a lot better than the historical Soviets. By this point in the war, the real German advance had already encircled Leningrad, basically. For all intents and purposes, at least they took this rail line, which would have been disastrous for us if we had allowed that to happen. So we're in better shape in the north than historical. In the south, we are also in slightly better shape than historical, because the Germans had taken Zaporizhzhia historically during the summer. And they had made some serious progress into Crimea as well. If you look at the historical capture dates, for example, which is, where is it? There's like there we go. And then you have to zoom all the way in to see them. Where did it go? City capture dates. There we go. So you can see here, captured October 1941, October 31st. So they made it pretty damn far down already. November 1941. And Sevastopol was taken in summer of 42 as part of the preliminaries to Fall-Blau. Even over here, they made it all the way up to made it onto the Kerch Peninsula in November. Like last turn, they should have been already pushing towards the end of Kerch Peninsula and towards Sevastopol. So, I mean, obviously Crimea is in a lot better place than historical. Zaporizhzhia was taken in October, so they didn't take that. Historically, they took Poltava in September. They haven't taken it yet. Same with some of these other cities here, which is really good news for us in the southern half of the map. I think that's really where the The AI seems to struggle. They just don't devote enough energy towards this for whatever reason. Like, they really focus on putting weak units here, and I don't get it. But I've played human players who will just straight up send these kind of guys, like these tank divisions down there, and the tanks are really good in Ukraine, so you can make a lot of progress. So I don't know why the AI never tries that, or didn't try that in this game. The enemy is bringing up a shitload of tanks in this sector. Oh my god. So this is really where the battle is. The battle for Kursk. Kursk, Orel, Tula. Yeah. All right. Well, till next time. See ya.